good one. I could have went longer if you believe it or not. Sorry, as we're recording this, we have the New Zealand versus Iran game on. That was a sick goal. Sorry, couldn't resist. Anyway, now that you're like, what did I just happen upon? Welcome back for another episode of the Crane Kicks Lex podcast. Got Dylan here. Got Jessica here. We got the World Cup here. I'm not gonna lie, like right, we got to have the World Cup on at all times. This is like prime soccer sicko time. We're just like constant all day. Like I wake up and my kids are like, "What are we doing today?" I'm like, "World Cup, baby!" Like World Cup. It's gonna be on all day, every day. And they're like, "Can we watch Bluey?" And I'm like, "Picture in picture. That's what that's for." But also no, because it's gonna be picture in picture with the World Cup plus replays of other World Cup matches. So just so you know, soccer's happening. How you guys doing?
I had the game on one of the games on earlier at work, but I had headphones in and I share an office, and all of a sudden I was like, "Whoa!" And my coworker was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, it was just a really good shot."
Yeah, just Lukaku coming in and scoring, no big deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's been great. The World Cup has been so fun. I mean, obviously USA, that game was so much fun. And then the weather was great today. Oh man.
Beautiful.
I mean, great for my mental health, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It really has been a beautiful day.
It's true. And then Jessica got to celebrate a birthday. She's
did.
26. Happy birthday. Woo woo.
26.
Big 26.
We went to Holiday World. 26. And if you ever go to Holiday World to celebrate a birthday, you can go to guest relations and get a little happy birthday pin, and like the workers will say happy birthday to you. And Dora got one as well because her birthday's the week before mine, and they put her age on the pin. And then when they were putting my name on the pin, they were like, "Do you want me to?" And I was like, "I'm old enough." It's like, "Now we're good. I'm old enough."
You could have chosen your age in that exact moment, though. You mean whatever age you wanted to be.
Oh yeah, that's
you missed
a good
your
point.
opportunity.
But if I'd gotten younger, people would look at me like,
That's why you do a power move and you choose older. You can be like, "I'm 176."
That's true. That would have been funny.
People would just think you're a vampire at that point.
Yeah. Basically cousins with Gandalf, like whatever. No, that would have been sick. That's cool. Happy birthday, Jess. I'm glad you got to celebrate it at Holiday World, and then with World Cup action as well in the mix. And we'll just say that like the Super League win was your early birthday present.
Yes.
And then the men's win.
The San Antonio win, that was my birthday present.
Yeah, double whammy. That's great. Yeah, we were on vacation. That's why we didn't record last week. We went to Greenville, South Carolina, and visited all of LSC players past. It was like going into like a weird time machine and then seeing all of LSC playing again at USO 1 level. It was super strange because they had like Daniel Wu, Azad Liati, they've got Anthony Patty, they got Amal Knight. It was hilarious too because afterward I ran into who was it I ran into that played for Greenville? I forget, but I remember Asher wouldn't give him a high five. Totally snubbed him. And then he looked at me because I was wearing like a LSC shirt, and he's like, "This guy with his LSC." And I'm like, "Darn right. Like half your team has LSC, buddy." Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're basically just running an exchange program at this point. No, it was cool. I got to check out their new stadium. It was nice. Still some finishing touches to go through, but like overall, it was really cool. Good vibes there. They had a big win. Got to visit with them all after the match. Obviously, my oldest, like basically like his uncle at this point. Like, yeah. And it was the coolest thing ever. We got to go down and chat with him. And then he, told my oldest Cooper, he's like, "Hey, just hold on a second. I'll be right back." And he came back with his old LSC warm-up top and then like signed it and everything and gave it to him. And we got pictures.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
He's just the best.
He's the man. We love him.
He's like the Maddie Parsons of the men's side.
Yeah, he's good. Like, we really enjoyed getting to see him. And my buddies Gio and Brandon that work for Greenville now, they hooked us up with all that. So that was a cool experience. and it was nice to see some of our old players in action and getting those goals flowing. Yeah, you saw Dylan's face. That's because
Iran scored.
Yeah, let's go. Woo! Sorry,
like, oh my God.
I told you guys we're dual wielding right now. We're running a pod and checking out.
I think people should be.
I mean, you already said it's soccer sicko time, so
soccer sicko time. This is the epitome of that.
If we weren't doing this, people would be upset.
Yeah. Hey, so this World Cup has been so entertaining so far. Game of the tournament so far. Japan, Netherlands. Is it not?
That one was pretty awesome.
It was really good. Back and forth.
Man, that was such a good game. And it just the whole first half, they were deadlocked and you could just feel the momentum was shifting back and forth. And then the drama of the second half of just goal, 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 goal. And the last one coming super late. Yeah. Oh man, that was such a cool game. I loved every second of that. That was just what you want out of the World Cup. You want those crazy games. You don't want those Germany beating teams 7-1. Those are just kind of at some point you just turn them off and you're like, all right, whatever, we get it. But the ones Netherlands versus Japan, that was such a sick game. I absolutely loved it.
But also the Cape Verde and Spain today.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was awesome from Cape Verde. Not from Spain. Spain apparently cannot finish for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, or could you say it's a masterclass in defense?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They
that low block was great.
Would they have 2 goal kicks, or was it just the one goal kick the entire game?
Yeah.
And they spent 95% of the match in Cape Verde's half.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love seeing all the stuff about their keeper going from 42,000 followers to over 30
followers.
Was it 3 million now at this point?
Is it?
It's it keeps going up. Yeah. The latest one, it was 3 million and some change because he had an awesome game as well. It's defensively and goalkeeper wise, they locked Spain down. And I think it also just shows the drama that you could have in these World Cup matches where you have these heavy hitters, traditionally heavy hitters, right? Where they kind of get arrogant. I think Spain was a little arrogant and they walked into it being we can rest a lot of our players. And then whenever it got to the very end, they're oh, dang, we actually cannot rest our players, but they waited too late. And then they ended up just getting a point out of it. So Cape Verde, man, good for them. That was so solid to sit there and be look, we don't even care. We're going to lock you guys down. So I just love the drama of the World Cup.
Man, there's been so many good games, and I love the drama of it all too. And I love when the small countries kind of make a name for themselves, and when they have these big storylines like this goalkeeper from Cape Verde, and just so cool, awesome. In the best game, I think it's hard to say because I'm super biased with the USA. Our 4-1 win was obviously
that was
really, really fun and awesome.
Yeah.
Great to be all in on that team too. But I don't know, like you said, Netherlands, Japan, even today, Egypt, Belgium was pretty tight, and then Lukaku came on and instantly tied it up, and that was an oh my god moment, one of those storylines again. Sub comes on, makes an immediate impact. You can't beat the World Cup for these moments. I just live for it.
Lukaku played for 2 of our 3 teams. Yeah. Imagine
not relegated teams, of course.
Yeah. Imagine not ever having Lukaku.
Yeah.
Ever. Just kidding, Jess. I'm just kidding. She's whatever. I'm logging off. Get out of here. It was my birthday.
Is that supposed to be a hit against the Wolves?
Yes.
Everything is.
A jab.
Everything
Wolves
is.
Jab.
Life is a jab at the Wolves. It's okay. Hey,
we'll just do well in the Championship League.
That's right. You'll crush them.
Is it Championship or Champions?
Championship.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess I'll have to start learning now.
Yep.
Championship, the women won this year.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Actually, not because ours was better. Man. All right. So look, hey, if you had to choose a favorite and the dark horse for World Cup winners, who are you going with? I'm gonna say favorite is France. I feel like they've retained a lot of their talents and they're hungry. I'm gonna say dark horse. This is kind of a wild one, but that's what dark horse picks are for. Japan.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did you?
Yeah. So an interesting stat I heard about the World Cup is that no team has ever won the World Cup without a head coach that is like from their country. So like, when a country wins it, their head coach is from that country. So I find that very interesting.
It is interesting.
I think, France is, obviously the favorite. We haven't seen them play yet. So like, still like, what if they lay a dud like Spain did? Spain's supposed to be really good. But I still think Spain, my dark horse, I'm going to say Netherlands to kind of like fuck your Japan pick, in their same group, a little bit. So,
yeah, that's solid. That's solid.
I don't know. I feel like I'm
just
not...
say USA.
Yeah.
There's no wrong choice.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just say it's coming home.
Yeah, it's coming home.
I mean, having home field advantage, that definitely helps.
That's cool.
I mean, I guess I'll say US. As far as dark horse, Cape Verde, sure.
Cape Verde.
Yeah, let's
go. Low block their way through the entire tournament. And they're just,
yes.
I did really love in their game too, how they just all of a sudden in like the stoppage time started counterattacking like crazy. Like it was just like boom, boom, boom. And Spain was like, whoa, what's happening? It kind of like freaked them out. I think they like had a moment where like, oh my gosh, they might actually score in like the 94th minute or something. Yeah.
They did. Yeah, they did struggle to finish. So
hey, but you heard it here first. When Cape Verde wins, just predicted it. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's a lock. It's gonna happen now.
Honestly, right now this Iran-New Zealand game is pretty good, and both the goals have been really good. So
yeah, stellar.
Did they just show a replay, or
they're showing a replay?
Goal? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
There's looks like
I'm
a major
focused on
timeout.
The podcast.
Yeah,
this is live. We're doing this live, so
that's right. Real deal. We gotta react. Hey, but let's talk LSC. Let's jump into some LSC. We've got, in my opinion, some good vibes flowing for the men's side. I think we can safely say, like, we can take a little bit of a breath. Like we weren't super convinced about like the past couple results. I mean, they were good, but like we were still like, all right, let's see something like real though. Let's see something like where, it's not El Paso, shooting themselves in the foot and going down to 9. Let's see something where it's not just like, we have to scrap to get to PKs and see a Simile masterclass. They got, oh my gosh, awesome. Like, sorry, an aside, how was he not in team of the round?
Right?
Yeah, like who picked that? Who picked that? Stops 4 PKs and doesn't get team of the round. Like, no. That's just.
And it was a clean sheet, wasn't it?
Like no.
Yeah,
oh wait, no.
It was one goal. Mind. Yeah, it was 1-1. But like to have 1 in regular time and then the 4 in the the 3 in the PK round. Like, come on, not even like as a like bench team of the round. Like, what do these other keepers do? Like, go up and score 4 times and then have 6 saves each? Like, come on, no. Sorry. Anyway, that was just really bad stuff. Put some respect on Oliver Simile's name.
Yeah,
championship. Come on now. So anyway, this game though, I think this was a very, very good game and a very good statement to the rest of the league that we're on an upward trajectory. Took on San Antonio, number 1 in the West currently. We've kind of had like weird results against them in the past. Like that one game that haunts me that we played them where we were up 2 and then they came back on us at home, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that haunts my dreams. But then now to get a shutout against them and to drop 2 on them, and really like we controlled that game. We controlled the tempo of that game. And we kind of like let off the gas a little bit as far as like being the ones that had to be in control once we scored that first goal, but not in the sense of like we just kind of were coasting. We were like, it's okay. We don't have to be so aggressive now, but we can still control it in our own way and be a little bit more of a defensive presence, let them have a little bit more of the ball.
It like let off a little bit of the pressure.
Yes. We played a little bit more relaxed, I guess I should say. Like this game was a really complete game from us. And it was super strange because we had a little bit of a mix up in the lineup. Like Philip Goodrum, he's got a little bit of an injury going on. So we call back Bra, right? He comes back from one knocks. One knocks. And he's in form. He's scoring goals for Knoxville. He's back with us. You start wondering, like, okay, does he find that confidence? Is he that player that can produce for you? It was also a little bit weird that we had Brown as essentially a center back, and Ordonez is not in the mix, where we've had him as our center back alongside Burks. So, it felt a little strange as far as the lineup is concerned and what we're used to seeing, but it worked out. And I don't know if it's just because we're finally like in the groove or if it's because of those subtle changes. I am kind of apt to say it's because of those subtle changes. I don't know. This was a good game, especially from Rodriguez. Like, I feel like we have constantly been trying to get, and we've said this a million times, we've been trying to get Goodrum to play almost like as a false 9 and a playmaker that can also finish when he feels more like a standard striker. And it just doesn't ever work out. And Brodilio is that player that can play like a false 9 and make things happen. He's good with making plays. Like even his goal that he scores, he starts with the ball and then he passes it off, but then he makes a run and then finishes it whenever it comes back to him.
Yeah.
So it starts and ends with him essentially. And I feel like that's what we've been needing for like Hemmi Ball. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's his vision. I feel like he's been wanting to play this way. And I feel like now, by circumstance, right, with Goodrum being out, by circumstance, we have Brodilio back and he makes this happen. And it's like, okay, is this what should have been happening the whole time? And this is not even mentioning like Ferry's goal. That was great.
Yeah.
From
Oh my gosh.
that was such a good goal. But I just think holistically, you look at it, for me, that's almost like the weird linchpin in all of this. Whenever you look at how the game was flowing, that was the biggest difference for us. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's really interesting, the whole situation. I feel like last year Brodilio, like I really liked him. I feel like he got an unfair shake of things, so it's kind of nice to see him, find some form in Knoxville, and then him come back, and I was really pumped to see him recalled, and now having him start in the lineup, and he brought something different to the table, and it worked, and we definitely felt like his presence, like obviously we didn't score in the first half, but I felt like we had potential and we were dangerous. We often were putting, not passes, we were putting shots on them. And, it felt like a lot of our possession, a lot of the time spent was in the opponent's half, because of just like the way we were moving around. And, he was definitely a part of that. I really do agree with you, Tyler. He brings something different and something much needed. And, but what happens though is, in the second half is where the goals come from, and Mac makes a sub of Medence off and Edidokin on. Do you think that was the catalyst for the goals?
I do think that played a big role, because I think you see how like hungry Dadekin is. Like he comes back on there, and like I think he was tied for most shots taken on our team with Aaron Malloy, and so he was just shooting and just trying to see like what he could make happen. And I think that he does bring something pretty unique. Me personally, I was really happy when we got Medinse back when we first acquired him, but I just think I don't know. I just don't know that he's the answer. I'd almost rather have a Dadekin back. And I know we've had like kind of ups and downs with him. But I don't know. I just feel like in this game that was definitely something that helped us out.
Well, and so because we were out and about on Saturday, I didn't get to watch the entire game. But from what I did see, it was just a super strong performance all around. It felt like they were in sync. In the post-match interview, you got Ferry mentioned, like he could tell what Brow was about to do, like went and got position. Brow delivered the ball perfectly for the header for him. Oh, that was Epps?
Yeah. Epps got him.
My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
So Epps, he noticed what Epps was about to do, sent it in perfectly for him. And on that point too, Epps was also just on fire.
He's been really good here lately.
Yeah, it just was a really good day. They were just all on. They were all in sync, super strong. All around. It just, it was fun from what I was able to watch. It was a fun game to watch.
And I have to say too, like, it's not even just like our offense was finally clicking. And like, I know I said Bradilio was kind of like the secret sauce, but I think also defensively, we were just different. I was kind of skeptical when I saw Ordonez out and Brown in that spot. And like, I know we sometimes, not sometimes, but we do like to do like a transition to a 3-back once we send one of our fullbacks up. And so a lot of times we spend, a good chunk of the game in a 3-back system. So, he gets to play wide still. But, I really have liked what Ordonez has done for us. And so I was like, all right, what's going to happen here? Because we're taking one of our fullbacks, we're shifting him a little bit more central whenever we are pulling back, right? But he did great. Him and Kendall Burks both. Like, Simile barely had to do anything. Like, he had 0 saves despite a shutout. Like, he only passed the ball 21 times. As far as acting sweeper, once. 2 throws, 1 high claim, 2 recoveries, 24 touches on the ball total. That's all he had for that entire match. So his defense was doing him solid. Like, he didn't have to really do a whole lot, which was nice, right? That was kind of cool. And then you start looking at, Kendall and Brown's like stats, like, man, like they were just really on it. They had boatloads of clearances, recoveries. They were getting the ball where it needed to go. Like, you had 8 passes into the final third from Brown. So he's still being impactful as far as getting the ball further up the field for us, despite him taking on that more defensive position. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm convinced yet that this is the permanent solution and that we just have Brown in that position and Ordonez is, out of the mix. Because like I said, I still like Ordonez and what he's done for us, but it's hard to deny that it worked really well this time. It worked really well having him paired with Kendall Burks, and they both had such stellar games. I don't know. Like, San Antonio just could not find the back of the net for anything. And they weren't even really getting many shots off. And it was kind of strange because, you expect this to be a really, really contentious game. You're like, oh man, it's going to be really tough. And San Antonio is probably going to, maybe sneak one in on us because they're top of the West and we've had trouble with them in the past. Didn't feel like that at all this match. I don't think there was one time in that entire match where I was like, oh no. And we've had a lot of matches like that. And this one I was like, oh my gosh, we're controlling the tempo the whole entire time. Like, what is this?
In the first half, there were a few moments where, like on a counterattack, San Antonio was coming back And, I was starting to get like, oh, maybe in like a one-on-one or like they had numbers on us or something. But like every time in those situations, they simply just blew it. They just couldn't do anything. So they just simply didn't have it that night.
To put an exclamation point on it, I mean, they had like 4 total shots, 0 on target, and 4 touches in our box. That's it. Which, I mean, sure, you can get lucky with that low of a set of numbers, but overall, that points to defensively how stout we were in this particular match. And I think maybe in some ways that's been the missing piece just as much as who's up top has been. I think we've kind of had like, 2 bookends working against us a little bit. And, this one, it has me intrigued. I want to see another match with this same setup. Again, I probably wouldn't hate it if we swapped Medense out for Adedekin, and give him another chance at starting. Cause I feel like he's been out of the mix for a while, and so I think he proved that he's really hungry, and we know what he can do. He just kind of had like a weird period of time where it was almost like he was getting in his own way, and maybe he's past that. I would like to see him have the opportunity to prove that, but otherwise run everything else back and see what goes down for us. Because, I mean, you have to kind of look at this result and be like, okay, like maybe that is the formula. And I think it'd be silly to ignore that. Even, and I'll say this, even if everybody that was out of the mix because of injuries or health concerns, even if they're fully healthy, I feel like you still have to kind of give this another look and see, is this what we need?
Well, yeah, I can see how we were feeling a little more hesitant going into this game, because when we played them so earlier in the season, they beat us 2-0, and they were pretty dominant. And so I think going into the game against Indy, hoping we don't get a red card in the 3rd minute, I think will be helpful. But I agree. Trying out this lineup again for Indy, again, hoping we have all 11 the whole game. I think we'll see the game will, instead of a 3-1 result last time we played Indy, I think we'll see a shift in I think a positive shift in our direction for sure. Especially in Detroit, they're at the top. They're towards the top of the table currently. For the East, San Antonio being first. So we've had 2 really good results against strong opponents. So yeah, I totally agree on your note as far as feeling like we're on an upward trend.
So I feel like throughout the season, the spine of our lineup has remained the same, right? Barring the Goodrum injury, it's been him up top. We got Malloy and Ferry in the middle, and then Firmino. Yeah, there's been some movement, I guess, with him around a little bit too, but with Burks, and then barring this game too. Ordonez, has been the same. So those like outside positions, the fullbacks, the wings have been changing a lot. I feel like Epps is starting to, find his form, or he's kind of already in form, I would say.
Yeah.
And he's someone he's definitely like growing and, on me. I was not really a fan of his last year because I feel like he did nothing for us last season. So this season, it's nice to see like him finding form with Mac, and I feel like that's a case to be made for a lot of people. Just like people finding form under Mac, a different head coach instead of Boss. It seemed like maybe that wasn't the right environment for a lot of players. But how did you guys feel about the fullbacks in this game? Because I feel like that's a position that's been kind of changing a little bit too. Personnel wise, Hafferty's been in and out.
Yeah. I mean, I feel our fullbacks, the way we use them, we pretty much use them as wingbacks, right? They're hyper aggressive, and the way that we expect them to work, we want them up in the middle of the field or the final third. And so, like, when you look at their like defensive stats, they don't always have a lot to them, but their attacking stats, even though they sometimes appear a little anemic, but you use the eye test, you see how much work they're doing to at least attract attention and help us open up space and make moves. And of course, like Xavier Zinga, he gets an assist in this last match. I feel like him and Jacob Green always have like the potential, I guess, for these dynamite moments, and they've delivered regularly. I feel like both of them have delivered often enough that you have to feel okay or good, even so far say good about them being there. Because I know, some people are like, oh man, I really wish we could maybe like bolster that spot and have some more options at fullback and see if we can get somebody, because I think a lot of times people will go back and think of like Kieran Sargent, right? Because he was one of those fullbacks that you look at and you're like, oh man, like talk about somebody who just always had an immense impact, and now he's in the MLS balling, right? So that just speaks to his quality. But I think Jacob Green, Xavier Zinga have done really good for us. If you're asking for like super strong defenders, I think they can do that, but I don't think that's what's asked of them. I think that it's always like, hey, get up in the attack regularly and see what you could do for us. And I think sometimes that's bitten us, right? I think sometimes you see it where, defensively, we have been caught in situations where you almost wish you had some fullbacks that are a little bit more defensive minded. So that's where, you have that question, right? Is Brown now the solution for the other center back? Was this the secret sauce, right? Was this what you needed to make sure that they can get up in the attack and do their thing, and then you still feel secure? And again, I don't want to discount Ordonez because I still really like him, and I think that there's still a spot for him as a starter. But yeah, I don't know. I think that to count them as not having a ton of value is a little silly at this point, because I feel like they've done enough to show like we can do that. Although I would like to see if maybe we could figure out like, okay, well, who is our option if we want to be more defensive? Is it still Brown? Is it, because I feel like he's very offensive minded too. Although he proved he has those defensive chops this past
He's just
weekend.
very attacking. He's just like aggressive.
Right, but I feel like he's proven that he can kind of be that more defensive presence. So maybe that's the plan, right? Maybe it's when we want to be all gas, no brakes, Brown's one of our center backs, but then when we want to slow the game down and shore things up a little bit more, then maybe we pull out one of those fullbacks and then you move Brown out wide, and then you have Ordonez back in the mix, and then maybe you're a little bit more stout, and maybe that's kind of Mac's game plan. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Jess?
I don't know. I mean,
you like a fullback play or no?
I do. I haven't had I don't know that I have any complaints. But so I'd say I primarily agree with what you said, Tyler. So no notes. I think that's why I don't know, because no notes. I think you put it really well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think it's just like a point of not contention. It's not contentious at all, really. But just like the rotation of the lineup. Yeah, exactly. The rotation of the lineup is a conversation starter for sure, and we're trying to find our footing, and it seems like we're starting to find our footing more and more. We have a little bit of a streak going, and I definitely heard chatter, people in the Discord kind of on both of those guys. People really favor Hafferty, and but I do see the value in both of those guys. They consistently show up on the score sheet, whether it's a goal or an assist. So I think their value is, like you said, maybe not in the defensive aspect, but it's definitely in the offensive, and their plus minus on the field has to be pretty high,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. That's a good shout about Joe, because like that is something that it was on my mind whenever we saw him again. I was like, man, I kind of missed that Joe's lost out on being like that starter, that key cornerstone. Because I do feel like he's great for us. And I would like to see more of him. Again, it might just be a factor of, like what Mac is looking for from players. Because I feel like Joe is a very balanced fullback. Mm-hmm. He's very balanced. You know what I mean? He's not ultra defensive. He's not ultra attacking. He could do both effectively. So he's kind of like your catch-all. And maybe that's what's kind of put him into that sub spot, because maybe Mac is envisioning my fullbacks will both be hyper attacking. And then if we need to switch it up, Brown, Hafferty, you guys are the guys that are going to switch it up a little bit for us. Because, I do miss seeing him. I wish he would get a little bit more playing time, but I can't also say that I hate that Green and Zinge are starting, because I think that they've had enough of an impact that they've kind of earned that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know, guys. Like I think this was a good match, and it's going to be weird too, because our next match against Indy is a cup game again.
Yeah.
Prinix Tires Cup game. Yeah. AKA Jägermeister. Yeah. But yeah, like, so it'll be interesting to see how we come at this game, because as much as you want wins, it is a game that you can allow to go to draws, because you could still potentially end up with 2 points instead of 1. I'd rather us just win outright and just clean up these points, because the group is kind of tight right now, right? Are we sitting in third, if I'm not mistaken? I think we got leapfrogged by, what was it, Omaha? That leapfrogged us in the Prinix Cup standings for our particular setup. So I just, I think that a strong win against Indy, especially to pay them back for that thumping they gave us, would be really, really great. And then, like, because Lou City is 1 point ahead. So is Union Omaha. Lou City's got +6 goal differential. We've only got +2. Union Omaha is -1 goal differential, and somehow still ahead of us. And we still have games in hand on Indy and Union Omaha, as well as Fort Wayne and Ford Madison. So I think we're very much in the mix to still potentially win our group if we can get a win off of this one. And Lou City's not really been in the best of form. They've been like kind of back and forth. It's a little weird to see how much they've ebbed and flowed recently. So this is a winnable group. I think that, with Indy being right there neck and neck, because they're in the 4th place spot, I think really the only thing that separates us is goal differential, and we have one less match compared to them. This one could put us into 1st place if other teams stumble. I want to see us go all out and try and get the win, not play for a draw in this one. So I think that this lineup that we just saw, minus maybe the switch out, like I said, with Medense Adedikan, that one might do it. That one might do it for us. And if it doesn't, maybe we just figure out that, hey, that was just the formula against San Antonio. It's not necessarily the formula overall, and that's okay. You got to figure those things out as you're going through. And, frankly, not that it's not important, but the Prinix Cup also offers a little bit of breathing room to figure those things out as well, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I mean, so commenting on the Adedikan Medense flip-flop, I see where you're coming from as far as possibly giving Adedikan another chance to be a starter. But in the San Antonio game, I did really like the hunger and energy he brought in as a sub. So because he got some shots, he created some really good chances. So in that sense, I feel like he brings a lot as a sub there.
I agree with that. That's for sure. I think where Medense also, like, he scares me sometimes as a starter, is he's very much involved in the dark arts. Yeah, he likes to dabble in the dark arts. If you watch him, he'll do some things that you're like, oh gosh, please don't get carded, dude. Like he plays CONCACAF football. That's what he plays. And so sometimes you're like, oh, don't do that again. Please. You got away with that, but don't do it one more time. It's like when he was battling for the ball in this game against, I forget who it was. and he wanted to like make sure the ball touched the other player before it went out, and he gave him a little shove.
Yeah. I was like, oh man.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, don't go too far, man. I love the hustle and I love the desire to get that ball in our possession, but you know, and again, it's not that I'm not a Medense fan. I think that he is absolutely filthy on the ball. Yeah, that's a tough one because I feel like Epps is a lock for where he's at as far as one of our wing players.
Yeah.
He's proven himself. He's that consistent presence. He's delivering all the time. I just feel like we're kind of in like this weird fog with our other wing, you know, where it's like,
yeah,
who is it? So like, I feel like every time we get a question answered, like another one arises, right? It's like, oh, who can operate as that 9? Who can do that for us? And then again, it's only one game, so we can't get ahead of ourselves. But Bardelio comes in, he's like, I can be that number 9. I'm like, heck yeah, dude. But now I'm like, but who should be our other wing? Like, who should be the one that handles business for us? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Matt goes with against Indy, and who kind of solidifies that.
I'm feeling pretty good about the team right now. Feels like we got some good momentum. Feels like we have some excitement that we haven't had in a little bit. You know, some good vibes. And I think the goals that we had were like good team goals that like get you excited about, oh, this is like building something. And, you know, this was like, these were chemistry based goals, like especially the Braudelia one. And I guess, you can say the Ferry one as well. Like he knew instinctively what Epps was doing. So he just got up there, made it happen. So it's good to see things kind of working his way. And, you know, I don't know, I was definitely down on the team for a little bit, but it's nice to see things kind of get an upward trajectory. And, you know, I've always liked Mac as a coach. I never really like necessarily doubted him. I, you know, saw the potential of what he could do. Obviously, from the women's side of things, I knew he's capable of doing good things with the men's side. So it's nice. Currently, you know, I'm not a future predictor, or like I can't accurately predict the future. I can predict it, but it's not going to be right.
Feel that. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is put some wind back in ourselves, like you said, and I think that we can continue this. We can do this. We've proven that we can do it against a team at the top of the West, and so like from this point on, it's a matter of just maintaining that intensity, and not just letting it slip and be like, oh, we did it one time, and then let's kind of go back to the drawing board after that. Like, I think that this is our chance to really keep going, because I don't want this to be a fluke match. That's the biggest thing. Like it can't be a fluke. It has to be that was a definitive, we are moving up type of situation. And I think the players are hungry for it. And I think that, again, like you said, Dylan, the chemistry is starting to feel a little bit more there. At least in this match, it felt more there. It felt like everybody kind of sensed what each other was going to do a little bit more than we've seen in some of our other matches, where it was almost like guesswork. And so, like, you know, time builds that. And maybe the time has finally reached that like convergence point where, you know, they've been together just long enough that they can start making that stuff happen, and we get those results based on it. So lucky us, we get another home match this weekend to see it all play out again and hopefully get some revenge against Indy 11. That's my hope. It's not only that, it's a international festival this weekend too, which I think is really cool. I think it's neat that they're going to have performances before and during the game at halftime, and then food vendors. So celebrating multiple cultures and heritages at this, which is kind of nice because it's right in the middle of the World Cup going on. So what better time to do this and highlight all the wonderful diversity in our communities, right? So I think it'll be cool to attend that and see what's up. All forms of diversity. Lexington Sporting Club. So I think it'll be a neat little event for everybody to get together. And, you know, because sometimes you have tons of people there before the match, and everybody's kind of like spread out. There's not really like a core tailgate that's going on, but I think this will be another great opportunity to pull people in to one centralized location and experience all these great things together before the match, and hopefully build some more connections, because I think we need more of that. I think we need more of that as we're growing, because I feel like we've pulled in so many new fans. We need to have these types of things where people come together in a way that, like, yeah, of course the club is saying, hey, we're having like a World Cup watch party, but I think this will capture more of that community even than that will, because people are already going to go to the game anyway. So might as well go check this out and mingle with each other. So good on the club for doing that. Also good on the club for the teddy bear toss too. They did another one of those at this past match. I love those. It's such a great cause.
Yeah.
Going to kids, like, like just brightening their day. And I saw all the coolest stuff. Like, I love the bingo, like the soccer kit with the ball from Bluey that somebody threw onto the field. Like, some Bluey fan kid out there is gonna think that's the best thing ever. It's gonna be so cool. So I want us to do all the teddy bear tosses. Do one every weekend. I'll buy a teddy bear every weekend. I don't even care. I'm made of money. I'm lying. I eventually will run out of money, but I love the cause.
Someone clip that out, and anytime Tyler says something, we can go back to that clip.
We take donations to afford to buy all the teddy bears whenever the money does run out, which will be rather quick. None of us are rich, unfortunately, unless somebody's hiding something. Jess, been hiding? No. Yeah.
Sorry.
Tree in your backyard.
Money.
Yeah. Even holding out
on
us.
What did you say?
The profiterole money.
Oh yeah.
She forgot all about those. She never made them for us. You notice that?
Yeah.
Talked all of this game about them months ago.
I think that was like shortly after I first started on the podcast.
Years ago. And still hasn't made them. Well, you're making this worse. Oh, man. All right. Men's matches. We're going to do this. Trending up. Let's go. Women. No matches. But we did have some big news about the Super League. And we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we didn't get to record last week. So a little late to the party, but still worth discussing. Schedule change. So now the women will have their schedule in sync with the NWSL other leagues that are around and already established. So it's going to be basically spring to fall as opposed to fall to spring. So we're not going to have like the winter break. We're not going to have the December 28th game or like the February 30th game.
It's breathing.
Which it will go into December. It's going to be from August to December for this abbreviated season. But then after that, it's going to be during the warm-ish months, right? Because sometimes spring and fall is funky. So that starts in 2027. I already kind of spoiled it, but in the meantime, we're going to have an abbreviated season that's going to take place from August to December. So we have the potential to be the first team to win twice in the same calendar year, and probably the only one to ever do it, because we probably won't do another schedule change anytime soon. So we can literally have that whole chant that they have in Europe. Everybody jokes about it, 2-time winners, you'll never sing that. Yeah, whatever tune you want to put it to. I'm excited for that possibility as much as it's weird. So first off, how do we feel about the schedule change? Us moving to this, keeping in mind that it's probably primarily because that women's tournament that keeps being murmured about. People are whispering in the shadows about essentially something that's Open Cup style, but not really the same. But you know what I mean? Like people having clubs from different leagues compete for something. It's yet to be determined what that's going to look like, but it's definitely something that's being discussed.
I think that would be awesome.
The tournament definitely would.
I don't know how to feel about it. I guess partly because I've until the women's like until the Super League started, I didn't really follow much like NWSL teams because we didn't really have any local. Like, we just were starting to get into supporting a local team and like watching soccer in general or professional soccer. So I'm not super familiar. I mean, I guess being familiar with how the men's schedule works, it's not bad. I think it'll be nice to not have that break between the fall and the spring season and kind of being like, all right, what are the women gonna be like this season? You know, it's or for the spring, you know, after the break, because similar to what happened in the first season of the Super League, how Brooklyn was at the top and then like, you know, and everything got shaken up. And so in that sense, I think it'll be nice to just to not have that break, really.
Yeah.
And to just see the whole season through in one shot. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Jess, where like I like the schedule the way it was. You know, it was good, and I liked having LSC like all year round. There was like no breaks in between. That was one highlight for me.
That's true.
I really enjoyed that aspect to it. It's weird to me to like put them like against the NWSL, like competing time slots and everything.
Yeah.
Because then you're fighting for viewership in a way. But you know, then if you want to get in the tournament with them to increase exposure, you know, that's a really big part of it, and then that makes sense. So like I see both sides of it. Like it makes sense, you know. But I did really like the way it was and having all year round, and it just felt like unique, and I don't know, just felt and then it was nice to have them a part of the like men's European schedule, you know, like European soccer, like a Premier League schedule in a way. I don't know. I liked how it was, but I'm not pitchforks and torches at the league office for this change.
Yeah, I agree.
I really enjoyed having just the women's team playing at some points in the year.
Yeah.
That being said, I also realized that those points in the year were when the weather was the worst.
Yeah.
and like, so as much as I liked that aspect, and I know that like weather can be dicey in the summer too, because it can get pretty hot. But at the same time, like if I'm taking a step back, and I can't speak for any players, I can speak as a fan, but I can also assume that some players might feel this way. But like the fact that they have to play in the crappiest, coldest months with tons of precipitation, is probably not going to be missed by many people. And so I think that like if you're a Florida team and you're playing on the European schedule, whatever, what do you care? It's probably even nicer. But then you live somewhere like Kentucky where you have an ice storm in February, where you have ridiculous amounts of snow, and then you can't use your field and you have to change your schedule. I think that is going to matter. I think the schedule changes that result for teams that experience extreme weather in the winter months was a factor. I feel like attendance, people are already bad about attending women's sports, but then you say, hey, would you like to go watch this team when it's 40 degrees out and raining with me? And they're going to look at you like you're crazy, unless it's us, right? You ask us, we're like, let's go. Let's freaking go. Like, I'm ready for this. And so I think in the long run, or at least I hope in the long run, it's going to impact the women's team attendance in a positive way. It'll be tricky to figure out, though, you know, the chicken or the egg scenario, because we won a championship. So that might actually affect it in the first place. But then you also wonder, like, better weather months with them playing, like, was that going to also make it have like a little bit of an uptick in attendance? I think that at the end of the day, this is probably the right move. And I don't think we have enough places in the U.S. that playing in December and February and early March are that great of an idea. And the only people that I ever hear being like, yeah, we love the European schedule for the US are people that live in sunny places. And they're like, we love it linked up. And it's like, well, yes, because you go to every game and it's 70. Every single game is 70.
I'll go to the games in the cold. I'm an outlier. I like cold games.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
like
there
to
are
bundle
very
up,
few
so.
people. Right. But I think there's just very few people that will do what we do and sit in the cold rain, especially if you're talking about just getting families or like, people that are like, yeah, you know what? I don't have anything better to do. I want to go check out this game. And then they take those free tickets and then they come scope it out. I think you're going to have a lot more success seeing them being willing to entertain the thought of coming to the women's matches. So as much as I like having the focus on the women, and so there's still a part of me that worries that even though you have season ticket holders having tickets to both teams, it's a part of me that worries that with them playing the exact same time, when it comes down to it, they're going to be like, oh, 2 games in the same week. I'm going to go watch the men. That's something we're going to have to contend with, but we kind of still do. There is that overlap that occurs. And I'm hoping that, the league and the club and everybody that has any type of decision-making power is smart about how they set these games up to give both teams the best possible chance at pulling in attendance and making this happen.
On that point too, like the amount of times the men's team and women's team will overlap to increases, which sucks for the women because, like you said, we're already not getting women's, attendance or, viewership, whatever. And, that's only going to increase because if people are going to choose, they're going to choose to watch the men's team, sadly. Personally, I'm actually always going to choose the women's team because I think they're a better team to watch and they produce way more success, evident to the trophy case. So.
The trophy case is packed with women's accolades. That's for sure. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. It is kind of, I don't know. It's weird, but it's in some ways kind of exciting that we're going to have this abbreviated season coming up where it's just going to be like bang, bang soccer, and like see if we can win another trophy in 2026 or
how
trophies.
Many games?
Trophies?
14.
Ooh, yeah.
14.
I was going to say.
That's a really short season.
Yeah. There's not a lot of wiggle room, which makes me feel like we're going to keep a lot of our players. Because, like, number one,
good transition.
Like, thinking, but I mean, seriously, though, like thinking about how we already had a lot of contracts set up to be beyond this season. And yeah, they might have to restructure here and there to make it fit the language of like, well, here's this abbreviated semi-season, right?
Yeah.
Versus like what was initially going to come our way. But I think that at the end of the day, a lot of our players really enjoyed playing with one another and playing for Coach Koss to the point that they're going to be willing to stay and want to stay. And I can't see us having anything less than like, I don't know, like, I mean, it's got to be more than a couple dozen, right? That are going to stay. There's no way it's anything
at least
less
10.
than majority.
I'm going to say 11. Our usual starting 11, at least.
Yeah, right. And like, so at least our starting 11, and we've talked about this. There's those like question marks floating out. What do we do with the loans, like the loanees that we have in the mix? Can we buy them? Are we going to be able to pull them in? Because, at the end of the day, it's not always just the player's choice. Like sometimes like the clubs they're coming from are being like, no, hand them over, and I'm wondering what's going to happen with all that. My hope is that we have more than a dozen. And I would think that we would have more than a dozen players that want to stay here and try and win this abbreviated season and be able to say, man, we did it twice in the same calendar year. I mean, because that was their phrase, right?
Yeah, everyone's saying that. Everyone's saying run it back.
Yeah. All the players. And I think they're hungry for that. Yeah. And so I agree. I mean, at least majority of our starting 11, if not all of them, I hope that nobody's tempted to go elsewhere. And again, I think that the other thing that we have going for us with this current situation is since we will be synced up with NWSL and other leagues in 2027, maybe we have more of a leg to stand on. I know, Dylan, that was crazy. Sorry, there's another goal in the World Cup. But I think we have maybe more of a leg to stand on in enticing them to stay and being like, hey, like at least stay through December, win another trophy with us, and then you can see who's coming to call from, you know, other Super League teams or NWSL or whoever might come and say like, hey, join us, because it's a nice clean cut contractually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it
true.
just feels like a natural incentive to just stay, win another trophy.
Yeah.
Then whenever somebody says, want to play for us, you're like, well, actually, I won the Player Shield twice and I won the actual league twice in the same calendar year. So you got to pay me that money. Yeah.
I wonder what we'll do with the keeper situation. If we'll try to get Kat Asman, but also with Hope Heisey available. Like we need to either keep Kat so we can run it back, because I do think she obviously was Golden Glove, fantastic. But as far as our system and how we performed, like she was integral to that. And I think she was just a really commanding presence on the field, and how she helped like guide the defense and everybody, just everyone out there. And obviously Hope Heisey is really good too. If for some reason we're not able to secure Kat, we absolutely need to get Hope.
Yeah, 100%. Those are the only two options, like in my mind. I'm not saying there aren't good keepers out there, but if we're going to run it back, it has to be one of those two. Like, I really, really want us to keep Kat. If she has a situation where she goes back to Orlando, or something doesn't work out, I'd be super bummed. But it would definitely make me feel worlds better if Hope was the alternative. Because
that's the only alternative.
So good. And plus, I just love how she reacts to our heckling.
Yeah.
She's one of those keepers that will just turn and laugh at you and like chuckle with you. Like, I know you guys are just being like dweebs about this, and you know, and it's good nature. So good vibes, you know. So I agree with you, Jess. Only two options that are acceptable. Unless we just find somebody that's insane.
Besides goalkeeper, is there a position that you guys think we need to make an addition or like make a change or anything?
I think that after losing Amina, we need a little bit more depth on the wings. That, or we need to trust people like Amber a little bit more and give her some more time to really like prove herself that she is a viable option to get more than just like 10 minutes in a match. You know what I mean? Because I thought it was really, really nice when we had Amina and we had, you know, her and Kinsey and Sarah, and it was just a constant rotation between the three. And I think that was really tough for teams to deal with, because it's like, oh my gosh, you have like these three insane ballers and we don't know which two you're going to choose to put in the lineup as a starter any given game. But then we get rid of Amina, not get rid of, right? But she goes on to have another opportunity, which awesome for her. But then it really does kind of pare it down. And this is nothing against any of our other wingers. I think they're all great and they add something to the mix. But if we're being honest, like we pretty much are locked in with two starters at that point. There's no more question of like, ooh, can we rotate these around? So I think a little bit more depth at winger wouldn't be the worst, in my opinion. And then maybe even like, I don't know, maybe even midfield too. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't hate like central midfield wise that we just develop a little bit more depth, because obviously, you know, you have like Taylor out there doing her thing. She's a lock. You know, and I just Daria's done really good, but like she kind of had like some back and forth games there for a bit too. Like Daria was like really, really strong, and she had a couple games where it was like, oh, what happened to you, Daria? You know what I mean? Because I really like who she is, but you know, and I think players just sometimes have those ups and downs, but I think I would like some stronger depth in that spot, because I feel like if you can get a team where, you know, you have a strong presence in that spot, you know, you're going to do well in most cases, especially if you get a pair. And so if you have backups to that pair that can keep that same vibe. Yeah, I think those would be my two.
Yeah, I definitely thought midfielder was my first thought, just because of the like movement we've had. I feel like Taylor is a lock. This is assuming she's staying, which we obviously do not know. But assuming Taylor stays, we feel like she's a lock in that spot. But the pair, I feel like, has not been a lock. Obviously, we had Taddy for half the season, and then the other half we had Daria, which I feel not necessarily not confident, just like not 100% on Daria, maybe like a 70% on her. So I would like to see, what a different person would have to offer, just to see if they would have better chemistry with Taylor or the rest of the team. One thing, the wings, I don't necessarily think we need to make additions, but I do think we need to incorporate Amber more, if that's the case, to definitely, or not definitely, to define that kind of like trio like we had with Amina. It would be nice to have that defined trio with Amber instead of Amina, where you don't know if it's, Kenzie or Sarah or Amber starting that day, but one of, two of those three are going to give you hell.
Yeah, that's fair. Jess, what about you?
I don't have much additional notes to what you guys have mentioned already, but I also have absolutely loved our roster.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
so
like,
good.
I don't want to lose any of them.
No.
I was a little hesitant when we brought in Allie Brown and Reagan Stagletter. I do still miss Hannah Schartz as a center back.
Yeah, that is a huge thing.
I still can't get over that. Reagan did fine, but I'm definitely a fan of Hannah Schartz. And Allie did fantastic in the championship game. So I feel like she kind of, throughout her time, kind of proved what she can do. Hannah Johnson, I feel like the times that we did utilize her as the wing, she kind of impressed me over there too. So I think she definitely helps bring some depth there. Obviously, when she was on defense, I think she did a fantastic job as well.
To interject on that point too, Jess, I don't understand, along with Hannah Schartz, I don't understand how Hannah Johnson lost her, starting job as well. I felt like she was so good,
she was solid.
And I felt like her and Sarah Griffith had really, really good chemistry. And I was always really excited to see them as a pair together.
Yeah.
So
totally agree.
If we can, get her back in the rotation, want to see her playing more.
Yeah, I agree. So honestly, the only changes I think I would make is just some of the players that we saw in the fall, kind of incorporating them a little bit more. I don't want to, I think it's hard to say I don't want to mess with anything else because we did so well, but we know, Tampa, they cleaned house. There's,
Dallas,
there's all these Spokane players. Yeah, Dallas too. There's all these Spokane players now. So there's a lot of really strong talent in those teams as well.
But Allie Thornton's available. That's crazy.
So I think there's just a lot of potential out there, and so we don't know what the other teams are going to build with that, but at the same time I feel like we built such a strong cohesive team, and I think winning the Player Shield, winning the championship, going into the fall with a team that already plays well together, I think would only put us up on other teams that haven't had as much time.
Yeah, I 100%
especially
agree.
on a shortened season.
One of my big concerns too was we're almost again, like suffering from success, because you guys mentioned the players that were making a name for themselves pre-Cost taking over.
Yeah.
And then after, they faded into the background in a big way. And it scares me. Like, are those going to be players that we can entice to stay, knowing, especially like people like, Hannah Sharts, we extended her when Mac was here. And then all of a sudden she's getting 5 minutes a game.
Right.
Tops.
If even.
And like, this is no knock at Allie Brown or Reagan Steiglider. Like, it's hard to say that was the wrong move, because they did great and they showed up huge in the final for us.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say like, well, go back. But at the same time, is there a world where I feel like we still do what we did and we had like Hannah Johnson and Hannah Sharts starting? Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I do think there's a world where it still happens. And so it kind of stinks. Those are the players that I feel for. The ones that were consistent starters, and then all of a sudden they lose that spot. And then it scares me that they won't stay around to try and do it all over again. Because, I mean, frankly, I can't blame them. If you're going into those rooms and you're a starter and you feel like you should be a starter, but then you're no longer a starter. And then the conversation is, well, you can win one with us, but you're going to get 5 minutes a game.
Right.
I would feel some type of way. Of course you want to win one with a team, but at the same time, you want to win something that you feel like you were truly a part of, and you saw those minutes and you helped make that happen. And of course they did early on in the season. Don't get me wrong, but like going into the next season is what I mean. If you have those conversations and it's like, you're not going to be a big part of the plan. And then that's also hard. Like, who do you entice then to take those spots? And so I hope they stay with us. I hope we find a way to utilize, those players more and let their impact be felt, because people like Hannah Sharts, Hannah Johnson, they're too good to be 5 minute a match players, in my opinion. Like they deserve, like, if anything, and I understand, especially with defense, coaches don't like swapping defense around a lot in a match. I totally get that reasoning and that, that justification, but at the same time, find a way. I want to see all these ballers ball. We'll see. I mean, I can't imagine that we don't sign a few players, whether it be because we have departures, with people just deciding like, hey, I want to move on for another opportunity, or because we decide like, hey, actually, we want to kind of bolster this area and this area. So, I mean, a handful of signings, I feel like, has got to be in the mix to kind of, I don't know if we would. It's interesting to think if we would sign starters. I guess it all depends on how the dice rolls with the people that we had in the starting 11 for that last stretch. I just want us to get people that not only have the same level of quality, but the same care. And it's like, you said, just like we kind of need that same vibe. We need that level of care,
that
and
buy-in.
Like, and that we're balling for the city and we're doing this for each other. And, whoever we do get, I just need them to be of that mentality that they can slot right in, and feel like, all right, it's on go. We're playing for the badge, and that's our goal. We're going to win this next one. And I think we will find players that have that hunger, especially, when they get into the mix, they're talking to Coach Mack, they're talking to the other players, and they kind of establish what that vibe is and who we are as a team. So I'm excited. I think we run it back. I think we really do. I think we have just as good a chance as anybody. And I think we showed that we are that team, and we will have to have some more tricks in our bag, because, I know it's just a quick turnaround. We're basically back in it in a couple months, but at the same time, we have to have enough growth and enough of a little bit of a change to us that when we come back into the mix, we are who we are and who we're meant to be. But at the same time, we're not predictable.
Right.
And that's sometimes tough to achieve.
Well, and one thought I had too is, as far as the attendance for women's games, I think winning the Player Shield, winning the championship, and building on, because the attendance for the women's, for the final, and actually the semifinal and the final, the attendance was massive for both of them in in terms of like the usual women's attendance. So I think when you have like the relationships and, you know, the engagement that the players had with fans during those games, that's, I think, what really brings people back. And so I guess in that sense too, unless someone follows the women a ton, they're not going to notice a ton of, they may not notice those roster changes really, or pay attention to them much. But at the same time, you might get the ones that come back to want to watch certain players, and then you're like, oh, well, they're not with us anymore.
Yeah, people who are like, oh, Hannah Sharts was really nice to my kid, and you know, talked to them and gave them their autograph and you know, whatever. You know, they will be upset if they're not seen, you know, at the games.
So I do feel like that is potentially something to take into consideration as well, as far as drawing fans back. Obviously, it's not the main thing, but I think it helps. Still important. Yeah.
I mean, I really would love to see us like lock down some core players. Like, can you imagine it being like 7 years from now and we're still watching Kat Berry score goals? Like, how sick would that be? Like, because we've yet to establish that,
man.
Right. And we've said this a million times over the years. Like, we've yet to get that, like, this is our player that's synonymous with the badge. Like, whenever you think Lexington Sporting Club, this is your player. Like, this is your Messi of Lexington. You know what I mean? Like, I would love for it to be like any of these players, you know, and just keep building and keep winning. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, and that's kind of what I hope they take into account when they're looking at the roster for the fall is, you know, building that you draw in people, the players engage, they, you know, become fans because of, you know, positive experiences or wins or just you just watched a really great game and they want to come back. And then, you build that core group and I feel like it's hard to continue to build that group when it's constantly changing. Because people don't know what to expect. People are more willing to come back to something when they know, when it's less, you know, chaotic, you know, when it's a little more predictable.
Well, to that point too, we're in like a weird situation now where, like, in the past, for us to just be like, yeah, we know it's a fan favorite, we got to move on. Like, now, like, there's this weird pressure of like, we got to keep these people. And not only do we have to keep them, but like, there's almost a pressure of like, we have to keep achieving at this level. You know, because again, suffering from success. That's where we're at. Like, we've won all these things. So now all eyes are on us for this coming abbreviated season and future seasons. Like, are they going to do that again? Are they going to be that team again? And I hope we are. I hope this is like the start of a dynasty and that we get to enjoy these players balling for Lexington year in and year out. And I know it's unrealistic to think that all of them will do that because they got to chase opportunities where they arrive and they got to do what's right for them as much as, you know, they probably want to play for our city and with each other. Sometimes you have to do what's best for you. But I hope that at the end of the day, all the stars align and what's best for all of them is to be here in Lexington with us for as long as possible. Because this is such a special squad.
Yeah.
You know, gosh. But hey, like, I don't know. The winds are whispering that this week we'll have some Super League news, some Lexington Sporting Club news. So I'm sure we will, as people are listening, in fact, either will have heard something or are about to hear something in regards to what's going on with the roster, schedule, all that stuff. You know, it's coming because we do not have much time between now and August. Like, trust me, I'm counting these days. I work in the school system. I'm very firmly aware of how close August is. So I think we'll be hearing some stuff, and I hope it's encouraging news. Yeah. And I hope it leaves every fan being like, oh my gosh,
excited for the fall. Yeah.
Yes. Like, we're really going to make this happen. And I cannot wait. I'm absolutely dying for that first kit with a star on the crest.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't wait.
Oh man.
I can't wait.
I'm just
And I hope they use my idea of like having it like flowers, because it's like we just won the championship, so we're like draping ourselves in the flowers.
Yeah, that would be sick. You're the horse style.
I'm really feeling that idea. I'm not gonna lie.
You're the horse. I love it. That would be super cool. That would be a neat way to like lean into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
so
man.
If you're Leslie or anyone who helps design, if you're listening.
Anyone. Hey, but hey, let's be honest. No matter what, it could be like a brown paper bag kit, and I'd buy it if it had a star and a crest. just to be like, it's the first kit with a star on the crest. It's mine forever. Yeah. Like, what are you even wearing? Like, just don't worry about it. We're champions. We can wear what we want. You can be eccentric when you're successful. Like, just look at like the Met Gala and all that stuff. Wear whatever you want. But I'm not paying $1 million for it though. Paying like $80 or something.
All right, I got one last question. Gun to your head, give me one person that's staying on the roster for next season. Just one person.
What about ones that we know already have a contract extension?
Well, that's not necessarily guaranteed.
Like I guess that's true.
Everyone has opportunities.
To be bought out.
Renegotiated.
Everyone has opportunities to go anywhere they want.
Sarah Griffith.
Who you doing, Dylan?
What?
Oh, Sarah Griffith for you? Okay.
Yeah. She's mine.
Dylan, who you doing?
Well, I'm going to go Pantuzo.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is really good. Ooh, this is tough. Okay, have to keep. Has to be a lock. Oh, there's too many choices. I'm such an indecisive dude. Cadbury.
I think we kept a good trio.
We got defense. We got mid. We got forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't say Hannah Johnson, even though on social media she's been posting that she's still in Lexington. So
yeah,
that's kind of like a wink, wink. I think she's still staying.
Did we just choose the winning 3v3 team?
I think
for that event Lexington Sporting Club is hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get them to be one of the 3v3 teams?
That'd be pretty epic.
That'd be a great team.
Okay, Kat, now here's what you're doing. She's like, shut up. I know what I'm doing. Like, I literally scored more goals than everybody in the league. Like, who even are you? Got a torn hamstring and a torn calf. Shut your mouth. And a broken toe.
And I've got a golden boot.
Yeah. I just gilled my boot that I have to wear. Like, me too, Kat. No.
Mine's for stability. What's yours for?
Now what? I'm going to do that.
I don't tear any more muscles.
The boot that I had to get, I'm going to paint that thing gold.
Do you actually have to wear a boot?
I did for a few days.
Just a walking boot.
Yeah, hey, but I'm doing pretty good now. I'm healing quickly because I decided to take the no pain, no gain approach. And then I walked all around Greenville carrying my son on a torn calf muscle. And now it feels better than ever. It does not. It still hurts, but it's better than it was. Oh, man. Hey, but yeah, you guys, because I can't participate, otherwise I would. But you guys and Kyle should do the 3v3 tournament, and then I'll record it. I'll be the person filming it, and then it'll be the best content ever. I think the people are demanding you guys participate in the 3v3 tournament.
I haven't heard a single person demand it.
They do. They do.
Because you don't run the socials.
They do have a recreation. Wait, have they really?
Yeah.
Oh my
all of them, and now they are.
You know what?
Now they are. Now that they listen to it,
I will do it. I'll do it as long as Jessica and Kyle are into it too. As long as some CKL listeners sponsor us, somehow.
They all need to tag you. Everybody tag Dylan, Kyle, and Jessica incessantly.
No,
to bully them into participating.
I don't know that I want to pay money.
I have notifications off
to embarrass myself.
You're not embarrassing yourself. You're doing it for amazing content for the fans and being an inspiration. And everybody says, you know what? We can do that too. Right? No. I mean, it would be good content.
I think
but I'm not going to bully Jesse.
Already
feels that. That's what I'll do. I'll come to you guys' game and I'll commentate and I'll film the whole thing. I'll be a commentator. Be like Cincinnati Andrew. Have you guys seen him on TikTok? I'll be like Cincinnati Andrew and I'll have a random item with a mic hooked to it.
Oh yeah.
A box of noodles.
Box of noodles. That's what it'll be. Yep, 100%. All right. So, feeling good about the men's team. Women's team, very hopeful. We're going to run it back in 2026, be the only team to win the league twice in the same calendar year. It's written in the stars. I mean, or drones. I don't know. We'll use drones to write it in the stars again, just like we did at the end of the championship match.
On the crest.
Ooh, so I got to wait to get an LSC tattoo now. I got to wait until we win our second star. Otherwise, it won't be set right. Yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. We're going to win it all. That's all I know. Game this coming weekend for the men. Make sure you guys show up to that match. Enjoy the pre-match festivities. I think that'll be a really cool thing. I hope the club does some more of those like pre-match events in the summer, because I mean, what better time, right? When you have great weather. Well, I say great weather as somebody who absolutely hates the sun, but some are saying it's great weather to be outside when it's 85 degrees and a UV of 10. Then there are others of us that hail from cloudy climates and are just doomed in those scenarios. So I'll see you out there sweating. I'll be roasting under the sun. If you got sunscreen, toss it my way. I probably already got some, but I'll always need more. And otherwise, it'll be a really good time. So show up, win this game in the Prinix Cup, hopefully take the first place spot against everybody else, and knock Indy down a peg. And no boxing matches during the game. Hear that, LSC players? No boxing matches during the game. Promise me. We just want to get wins. 3 points. That's all we need. All right, friends. Anything else I'm forgetting? Perfection. I didn't forget this time. All right, then. For everybody out there, you know what it is. Come on, you greens.